Good morning from Las Vegas. There's the sun right behind me. Sorry about that. I'm squinting because it's stupid bright out here. So I am headed out to Death Valley. I have to do a workshop. I'm taking some people out here. I'm gonna meet the clients here, and pick them up in Vegas and then drive out to Death Valley for a few days. And I have all day today to kill, and I don't gamble, I don't drink. All I do is shoot birds in the face, drink tea, and skateboard. All of which are going to be on the agenda today. But I decided I would come out here to a place called Clark County Wetland Nature Center, Nature Preserve, Nature Wildlife something. There's a lot of wildlife here. It looks really nice so far, but it's extremely challenging. But I'm up for the challenge, and I figure I would kind of give you guys some tips for shooting in places like this, in scenarios like this. It's mid-morning, the stupid bright sun over there, zero clouds. Everything is just super bright, so that makes photography difficult. The wildlife is here. Usually you want to be, dawn and dusk type of stuff, but the wildlife is here, so I haven't had too many problems seeing wildlife yet. That sounds like a helicopter, not wildlife. However, I have had quite a tough time actually photographing said wildlife. Let's go find a better spot, see if I see anything, and then I'll walk you guys through some of my settings that I think will help for this type of stuff, and hopefully we'll find something cool. Okay, well, I just kind of lucked out because I was just walking by here on my way to a pond where I saw some ducks, and there is a couple of verdins right there in those bushes. They're going back and forth, so I might stay here and stake them out for a second. So one of the first things I was going to tell you guys is, in situations like this, what I like to do, because it's so bright, I like to put it at something like f8, even up to f11 out here. And I do that because the chances of me getting more of the bird in focus, especially through all this bramble, or just having the light, means not having to worry about the ISO as much. And that's going to make a big difference in the sharpness of your photos and the focus, being able to nail focus. If I miss the bird's eye and I get the bird's wing, or his breast or whatever, and I have it at f8 or something smaller like that, then I'll have a better chance of still getting the rest of that bird in focus. And out here in these conditions, that makes a big difference. All right, well, I think they took off. I'm gonna keep going to that pond and see if I can go stake out some ducks, and then I'll give you guys some more tips. Okay, I found all the birds. They're over there. They're in a big pond. There's two right there. This place is like a maze. I'm going in the opposite direction of the way that I want to go. So another tip real quick. Oh, there's a river right here. That's what that sound is. River. Another tip for conditions like this. Overexpose, probably by at least a stop. It's so bright out here that if the sun is not behind your back, and the bird isn't lit up all right, and you're shooting into the sun or at an angle, the dark shadows of the bird is going to be really, really underexposed, because your camera is going to be metering for the whole scene. So you can either spot meter or overexpose with exposure compensation, which is what I'm doing. All right, I think I found a path, for some definition of path. So I'm gonna off-road it. Going off-roading. I saw some either ringneck ducks or scalps. I don't know which one because they were kind of far away. Sitting on top of, or sitting next to a cooler in the water. Somebody just left a cooler floating down the water. Aren't humans wonderful? This is a perfect time to also talk about, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, not all wildlife has to be up close in their grill as close as possible. So you probably can't see it here, but right behind me is the river, and there's a river bank, and there is a great blue heron just standing there very stoically. Very cool. So rather than zoom into 400, I zoomed back out to 100 and then did a vertical and got the river, the cliff, the heron, the silhouette of the mountain, and it may or may not be a black and white image. But either way, I thought that was really cool, and it's just one of those things that shows a great story. There's also a crap ton of coots just floating down this river. Really pretty. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, I finally found the edge of the river path. Oh, that would have been a cool shot. Lots of good opportunity for action here with the ducks coming in and out of the water, herons. If I were in landscape photography mode, this would also have potential for sunset, sunrise, probably both. You got mountains in both directions. You got water. Oh, coming up on the pond, there is some big birdies standing in the water over there. Yeah, this is a really cool place. If you guys come to Vegas and you want to do some wildlife photography, this is the place to do it, man. I'll bet you there's a lot of other stuff out here. There's probably foxes and coyotes and all kinds of good stuff out here. I'd love to come out here for longer and just kind of stake out. So this place too, if you do come here, the trails they said are open from dawn to dusk. So I guess they close them at night and in the early mornings. All right, I'm getting closer to the big birdies and the ducks. Let's go see what we can find. All right, just found a nice spot to sit along the water here. I don't think I'm gonna spook anything. I think these birds are all pretty used to people, but man, this place is trashy. There is trash everywhere. It's nasty. This is a perfect place to practice bird in flight shots because you have all these birds just constantly coming and going, landing on this pond, flying up. See, flying over it. Great place to practice your bird in flight shots. Hopefully I'm gonna get a couple of those with some mallards. A lot of coots, a couple of other herons, pelican, really loud coots. A few other types of birds. We got mallards and pelicans taking off. Seagull, I don't know what kind, flapping right over me. Here it comes right over my head. It's always scary when seagulls fly over your head. All right, let's get back to shooting and see if I can get some bird in flight stuff. Just found a bunch of mergansers right there. A bunch of others. Apparently I'm angering somebody in there. I've been looking for mergansers for a while. I haven't seen them in a while. Some seagulls. Yeah, a lot of good activity still. Even though the light is just, I cannot tell you how bad this light is, and it's getting hot now. All right, I'm gonna try to get some more footage. I think I'm gonna wrap it up, go find some lunch. Hopefully those tips helped you guys out. Sorry this has been like the squinty episode. Here's the shots that I got. It might not be the best, but it was fun coming out here during the day and just getting out of the big city. This is a really cool place, even though it's super trashy. That's always really depressing. But hopefully those tips helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions about any of the wildlife stuff, my settings, or any of the techniques that I'm using, panning, overexposing, all that, I've got a bunch of wildlife tutorials. You can check those out. Leave the questions in the comments below. You know I'll answer them. Sorry, now there's starting to be a lot of activity going on. I'm distracted. Anyways, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got new videos every week. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.